So Darren got one of those triple E PCs, those little Fisher-Price overgrown versions of one of these things, and he drugged me out here on set, and he's like, "Oh, look, I have a triple E PC, and I have a wireless access point. What am I doing here?"
You're Watsoning for me because I can't do a segment alone. No, but truth be told, I'm going to show how to use the EPC, or basically any computer that you may have, but with Backtrack 3 and AirCrack NG to crack WPA. So what is that, Wired Protected Access?
Something like that?
Wi-Fi Protected Access.
Okay, yeah,
there
that's
we go.
what it is. Yeah.
Yes, as opposed to WEP, which is wireless
encryption.
No, wired equivalency privacy.
Oh, is that what it is? I thought it was like wireless encryption protocol or some crap like that. Everything's a protocol. So anyway, okay, so we've got the Fisher-Price toy.
Yes.
We've got a wireless access point.
There we go. Our access point, not your neighbors.
Not your neighbors. This is all about auditing.
Yeah, we want to make sure that our passwords are secure. But this is the age-old story. We're going to show you how insecure your crap can be if you don't use a decent password.
Yeah,
basically.
Just try. It's something you always have to worry about.
Cool.
Insecurity. Okay, so let's get down to the nuts and bolts. So we've got the triple E PC, which, on a quick side note, has an Atheros.
Atheros.
Whatever.
Yeah, an Atheros Wi-Fi card, which is pretty cool because with Backtrack 3 beta, they've got the Backtrack 3 latest version has bad Wi-Fi drivers for the Atheros chip in here so that it can go into what's called monitor mode.
And monitor mode being different than promiscuous mode, because monitor mode then allows us to just listen to any kind of Wi-Fi traffic around us, as opposed to needing some kind of network association.
Exactly, yeah. So, anyone. So we're just seeing what's in the air.
Right, okay. So let's get down to the nuts and bolts. So you've got Backtrack 3 running right now, and so what's our first step?
Well, the first thing we need to understand is a little bit of how this works. And I'm not going to go into great detail about all of the intricacies of the encryption scheme and stuff like that, but I will link into the show notes. If this does interest you, there's some amazing reading, especially from Seth Fogey, I believe, has an awesome article that I'll link to that explains some of the more details about this. But what you need to understand is that this is only going to be for cracking WPA networks with PSK,
which is pre-shared keys.
Exactly. So as opposed to some of the more intricate authentication methods that you would find like Radius in enterprise environments, PSK is what you would find in most home and small offices.
Right. Like your place.
Exactly. And the only vector of attack here is really to brute force the handshake.
More specifically, a dictionary attack.
Yes. Well, see, the thing is, the handshake is, the four-way handshake occurs when a client connects to the access point. And what we're going to be doing is trying to listen for one of those. And once we have one of those, we're going to run it past a dictionary attack, like you said. We're not going to try to brute force this because, I mean, honestly, the pre-shared key is from 8 characters to 63 characters, which would take...
Which can take literally hundreds of years for the maximum key length, because with each...
You figure if you've got if you could crack 3 million to 6 million, you could try 3 million to 6 million keys per day, still for an 8-character password, that's 200 million, I think.
So what it is?
Yeah, 200 million possibilities, I think, for an 8-character password. So
and that's full ASCII.
Yeah. So anyway,
so we've rambled enough. Let's get into the nuts and bolts. So I'm assuming we have to do a little bit of enumeration just to know what we're dealing with.
So first thing let's do is find out about our target. So for that, we're going to run Kismet. So fire up Kismet here, and let's go ahead and sort this. And there's our network, Hak5. So open that up, and I'm going to need a couple of key pieces of information. First off, verify it's WPA PSK. If it's not PSK, it's futile.
Find somebody else. Or
yeah.
I mean...
Yeah, okay, so the other thing we need is our BSSID. That's basically like the MAC address of the wireless network.
Right, or the
so we want to write
point.
all this stuff down. I got it over here in my little notepad because it's awesome. And we also need to know what channel it's on. It's channel 11. Okay, so we've got this BSSID. We've got the channel. Let's go ahead and start our wireless card in monitor mode. So for that, we want to use airmon-ng and stop ATH0, ATH0 being device for.
So we're basically
cards.
stopping normal wireless usage
Yes.
right now.
Now we started with Wi-Fi 0, which is our MAD Wi-Fi drivers on channel 11.
And now we've put it into
Monitor
monitor mode using the MAD Wi-Fi drivers.
Yes. So next thing you need to do is start up AeroDump. Okay. So I've got the command here. Let's just go ahead and dissect this. AeroDump-ng with -C for 11. So we're looking just
Channel
on
11.
--BSSID, and this is the BSSID of our Hak5 wireless access point that we got from Kismet. Now the -W parameter here tells it to save the file. We're saving them as PSK files. So it's going to make a PSK-1.cap, PSA-2.cap,
Et cetera, et cetera. And we're using the ATH0 device.
Okay. So we've got that going on. We can see our BSSID here. We can see the beacons. We can see how much data is going through, the encryption type, et cetera, et cetera. Also down here are listed the clients that are connected to it. We can see this one right here, the very first one, is using quite a bit of, well, we've got some packets. So at least we know that we've got at least
Somebody's
two clients.
actively using the wireless network.
So now, to get the handshake, since we already have two clients on the network, to get the handshake, there are two methods for grabbing it. One is passively, just meaning
waiting.
Let's sit here and wait for someone to connect. But let's speed it up because we're already 6 minutes into the segment, so let's de-auth someone, right?
Right. Now, de-auth is, all we're going to do is pass the client some packets, kind of just over the wireless network, even though we're not connected to it.
Yeah, but
we can
in monitor
pass them
mode, we
these
can speak
de-auth
it.
packets saying, you're not allowed to be on here. You're not allowed to be on here. You're not allowed to be
Not
on here.
necessarily you're not allowed, but you know
Your authorization is expired.
Yeah, exactly. And most operating systems will be like, oh, what? Okay, reconnect.
Let me pass you the key again to tell you I'm allowed to be here.
So let's just take a look at this command for that. It's AirPlay-ng, -0 for the de-auth, -15 is how many de-auth packets we're going to send.
Okay.
We could also change this 15 to a 0, and then that would just send infinite de-auth packets. But that would
If you
basically
wanted to be malicious and
it is no fun.
Yeah.
So -A, here's the BSSID of our access point, and -C is the BSSID of our client here that we found from this step, and we can see he's still using tons of packets. He's active, and then ATH0. Now there they go, and if we look over here,
now they're being de-authored.
There it is.
And already they got the handshake.
in the top right here, you can see WPA handshake. It found one because we de-authed that computer.
Right.
It's
And
still
now,
sending a few
don't
more.
get confused when you see the handshake, because that's the handshake that's being done on the access point. So that's not the MAC address of the client.
that you
it's
just
the MAC
de-authed.
address of, or the
Yes.
BSSID of the access point.
Now, finally, we run aircrack-ng with the -W and our dictionary file. We just have a file here, DICT. It's a 40-megabyte word list, and I'll have links to get some word lists. This isn't a huge word list. It has several languages, common words, common passwords. You could
Sex, God, love. No, I'm just kidding.
I can't remember the other ones. I feel so dumb now.
Those are the only three I can ever remember.
So now that's all I'm thinking about. So you could use a much bigger dictionary file.
Yeah, of course.
But,
Whatever
we've got
you
our
could
simple-
actually tote
Yeah.
around with you.
So aircrack-ng-W, our dictionary file, -B for the BSSID of the access point that we're trying to crack, and then PSK*.cap. We press enter, and here comes the fun part. Because you can
Crunch,
see
crunch,
right
crunch,
here,
crunch,
it's
crunch.
just looking through all these right here,
Yep.
all these words. And hopefully it will. There,
And there it is.
Key found Star Wars, which is a horrible, horrible password.
Yes.
Because it's in the dictionary.
Anything that's in the dictionary is a bad thing.
There we go.
Okay, so you're going to have show notes for everything.
Sure will.
Okay. Oh, quick little side note. The true reason this is out here.
Yes, the
is,
Nintendo DS.
The Nintendo DS is you've got a spiffy little thing on here on your DXS or
Yes.
DX.
Extreme mod chip.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I
if you've
can't.
got a mod chip for your Nintendo DS and you can run Homebrew, there's an awesome NDS file that will allow you to do de-auths.
Yes, if you just want to be a jackass.
No, it's not for just being a jackass. It's because you can do this. You can run aircrack-ng in Windows. But say like you don't have a nice card that can go into monitor mode. Say like you have a card that won't allow you to send de-auth packets.
This is just a little side
This
tool.
is just your side tool, yeah. And basically, this AirPlay Nintendo DS Homebrew app will allow you to choose the access point and send however many de-auth packets you want. Keep in mind that the range is important when you're sending these de-auths. it really matters like what your proximity is to the other clients. Just
So-
because the access point can see them, you need to be close enough so that
The client's getting the DOF package.
Exactly.
Okay, so
And this only has a wireless a wireless radio capable of sending, I believe, 2 megabits per second. It's not very powerful. So
you basically need to be sitting right beside the person.
it's a fun toy.
But
Yeah. You
but
could be like,
you're better off
oh,
using
hey,
something
I
like
tripped
this."
and de-offed your wireless.
It's like unplugging your network card by accident.
Yes.
Okay, so show notes.
Show notes on the wiki, and of course more articles in there that you can read that'll explain
Right.
much more about
Links
how
to
this
in-depth
works.
information and stuff like
Exactly.
that.
So, and hopefully that will change your mind just so slightly about the little hack top.
No, because when I actually get a working dual boot of OS 10 and
Yeah, on your
Linux, then
17-inch, not going to bring
it's a
that
15.
thing.
It's
All
a 15.
2 pounds.
Yeah, I don't care.
Suck it.
You know,
All
I
right.
can do whatever I.
Okay.
You know what?
You-
I like mine.
All right.
And all my OpenGL.
I
3D
can do software
accelerated-
rendering.
Yeah, software.
DirectX 7 for the win.
Yeah. Anyway,
We're
all
out
right.
here. Peace.